Have you ever heard of Paradise Syndrome?
No. What's
Like
that?
Paradise Syndrome, like, you know, when you see like lottery winners,
Right.
and you ever heard the ones that just go back to like they blitter
Yeah.
all the money, they blow all the money.
Yeah.
So Paradise Syndrome is that when you have a massive shift, something happens in your life, and you see yourself as here, and then you have this massive change which puts you up here,
Yep.
which would be perceived as paradise. So you're in paradise,
Right.
but you still see yourself as there, but
Yeah.
you're here and you don't feel like you belong.
Yeah.
So you destroy everything down to get
Yeah.
back to where you were.
Ah,
Paradise Syndrome happens to lottery winners. So it's like,
I feel like I'm doing that to myself right now.
are you?
Aye.
How?
I don't know, just with what you said there, I'm like, that's what I'm doing right now.
Well, it's about like, do you feel like when what you're doing doesn't match how you see yourself?
Yeah.
Would it like describe to me what that's like in your head?
I see myself.
Like let's start with what you're doing, and then tell me what the mismatch is with how you see yourself.
What I'm doing just now is I smoke. Smoke quite a lot of cigarettes and stuff as well, and I feel like that's having a big impact on my mental health for physical training and my career. It obviously is affecting me as an athlete. I started my calisthenics journey and I became an endurance athlete, representing Scotland. And I'm the guy that smokes.
Why do you smoke?
It's a habit I've picked up.
Why did you take the habit up?
To people please.
You still pleasing the people be smoking now?
No.
What are you doing it for then?
Addicted. It's in the head.
Do you think you're addicted?
No. No, I think it is surroundings that have an influence on you
You're right.
and an impact. Am I?
In the Vietnam War, back in the Vietnam War, they thought that when people used heroin, it was a death sentence. You could never get off heroin. It was medically established, or the medical profession basically says if you become a heroin addict, that's you.
Right
done.
off kind of thing.
Everything's environment. You ever went into somewhere and you just fall into these old habits, these traits? We run in patterns and programs. So what happens is, like when we go to the gym, for those that don't know, we train in the same gym. So we go to the gym and we know what we're doing there.
Yeah.
We don't think about it. We know what we're doing,
Yeah.
right? Because we have a pattern that we follow.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call it habits, habitual behaviour. There's a number of words for it. But what it means in essence is that we go in, we know what we do, and we do that thing in there,
That's that, yeah.
right? So in Vietnam, the same thing happened. These servicemen, 35% of the American servicemen were using heroin. So they sent over a whole team of doctors and psychologists to figure out how we can get how bad's this problem, and is it a death sentence?
Right.
When they took the guys out of Vietnam, they stopped using heroin
See.
because they weren't in the environment.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that they were using heroin was that they were looking for an escape or a release because it relaxed them.
Yeah.
Same euphoria that you probably got with the cannabis is that people smoke because it makes them feel relaxed. What happens is when you smoke, you take a diaphragmatic breath.
Yep.
So you breathe deeply, so it relaxes you. So people go,
That's
well, if
that,
I'm
but it's-
stressed, I take this and I need this. And it's like,
Yep.
well, if you want to take that thing away, you need to replace it with something that gives you
Yeah.
that relaxation.
Yep.
And that's the key component. People don't realise that you're never going to quit smoking unless you have something that gives you the thing that smoking gives you, but you don't actually need the nicotine. What you need is that feeling of relaxation.
Yeah.
So you can kill that habit by replacing it with another habit.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that, and it was the same thing with American servicemen. What they were trying to establish was why are these guys should be addicted, but take them out of the environment, they stop
Yep.
doing it.
Yep.
So
I
when you
feel same thing as well. If you to say right, taking you out the house, you're going out of Jamaica for a month. I want to smoke a cigarette again.
why do you do it in the house?
That's what you just touched upon there. Yeah, exactly that, and I can see that now.
We could rewire your brain to replace that easily, and you would go, I don't need that.
Yeah,
It's that simple.
Yeah,
And if you can do calisthenics and go back to work with a spinal fracture, and like you tell me you can't rewire,
I know.
come on.
It's just selfish,
Like
isn't it?
it's
Yeah.
that's a piss poor fucking excuse, really, isn't it? That's weak. Like you do all this stuff,
I know.
right? But just fine. need to pick it up. I'm helpless.
Yeah, it's true though, isn't it? And then you'll sulk later on yourself, like why?
And you're kicking yourself because what you realise is that by doing this, you're taking a bit of an edge off you. You're taking that off of your performance.
Yeah,
And
each day's a day wasted.
I mean, it's like, well, if you're this good smoking, what would you be like if you didn't smoke?
That's what I always think.
Like, how good would you be?
Yeah.
Right. So I know that I'd be better. How do I replace it? What could I replace it with?
Yeah.
What would give me that feeling and let me measure how much better it makes me? Because what you would then create is that positive reinforcement environment
Yep.
where you go, let me try it, let me replace something with it. So I get the relaxation that I would get if I smoked
Yeah.
without smoking, and
Yep.
then I can measure how much more performance I can get
Yeah.
by cutting it out.
Yeah.
That's a pretty powerful recipe there.
Mm-hmm.